Afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Walnut Lodge's Foundations Intensive Part 2. This is week 1 and day 4. So, Patty's here and Amelia's here and Babs is here. Hi, you guys. And Cassie. Hey, Cassie, how are ya? Good to see your name there. Hope everything's going well. All right, so continuing what we've been doing. Today will be a little different. Going to add a really super fun thing. We're going to need a bolster. You might need a block. We'll definitely need a strap. And then you're either going to need a couch or a wall. And that will be at the end. So when I move to my couch, you know, we can make that transition. You could also use a chair, but a wall or a couch, or a chair, as long as it is against the wall, will work. All right. So let's come to the end of our mat. And just sit. All right. Just see where your quads are. You're sitting easily, or if you feel one tighter than the other, or you can't sit easily, you just make a determination. Sitting here for a minute is going to, start that lengthening process. We'll be here more than once. All right, so coming forward into table, spread those fingers wide. Elbows are to the side. And then we're just stretching our wrist. And then move it back or move your knees forward as you adjust. And then find that spot where it's just at the edge of your discomfort. It's still okay. And then just stay there and breathe. Couple breaths. And then feel your fingertips, push them into the ground, and that should rock you back a little bit. So try to squeeze the fingers in towards the palm of the hand, but don't let them move, and you'll feel the action through the hand and into the lower arm. Just a couple. And sit back, rotate one way and the other, and then fingers back, spread them wide, knees up if you can, bend the elbows, sit back. Press base of your fingers right where they meet the hand. Press that into the mat. Yeah, see, by day 4, everything just moves easier, I think. Hopefully that's your experience. A couple more breaths. And then come up, tuck your toes, and sit back on your feet if you can, and rotate. If you can't sit back on your feet like this, then just leave the hands forward for a couple breaths and then come back down to just an extended ankle. A couple of these. Trying to make sure I get those little pieces in, those little feet pieces in. All right. Now, extend the ankles again. Sit back. So feel that fold of the pelvis into the tops of the thighs. And we tuck the tailbone under, lift way up in the stomach, pulls you to table, and then reach the sit bones back and fold. Tuck the tailbone, pull up, and inhale, reach back and fold. Keep going on this. So exhale, pull the tailbone, let the whole spine curve, and then as the tailbone reaches to the back, feel the articulation of the spine change. So we pull and we go into the C curve, and then the tailbone leads and you feel that undulation all the way through the spine. Really try to enjoy that. And then when you're pulling your tailbone in, try to feel that deep work right above the pubic bone. That's one of the reasons why I like this. You can really feel that low stomach pulling up because it plays such a big part in this if you're really articulating and motivated by the tailbone. So we're not using our legs, we're just trying to pull our pelvis in and forward to make the action happen. So pelvis drives the action up, and pelvis drives the action back. Just a couple more. Pull and reach. One more. Pull and reach. So not a cat-cow because the articulation is different. Actually, one more. And the motivation is different. And because you're coming from lower, the stomach has to work a little more. So adding the new part, first just slide out, stomach onto your elbows. Maybe your low back doesn't feel that great at first. That's okay. Lift your sit bones. And then use your hips to pull back. So we're adding the action of the legs here. Straighten the knees and you go out. Chest just reaches and then lift and pull back. So I'm doing this variation for people that really don't want to have too much more wrist work. And then you can just kind of stay with this variation. If you're okay with wrist work, then stretch your arms out and tailbone pulls. You go out and you go down. Push yourself up and then pull yourself back. So that's variation one. Pull the tailbone and go out. Bend the elbows down. Now lead with your sit bones. Push back without coming up. That one is a little harder. Tailbone leads. Pull that to go out and down. Push up and back. Both are good. They're working the muscles differently. Pull the tailbone and go out, down, sit bones back, push. Pull the tailbone and go down, push up and go back. Pull the tailbone and go down, push back to the fold. Pull the tailbone and out and down. Push up and back. Pull the tailbone and go down. Press back. Just one more. Pull the tailbone and go down. Push, one more set rather, hand back. Second variation. Pull the tailbone and go down. Push it back. This time, tuck your toes. press the sit bones back, and then go to down dog. So just push through the heels, and we'll give a little calf stretch. Right leg press, feel your fingers, let your head drop. Sit bone is up. And then left leg push. And then both, feel your fingers, roll the arms in, feel the thumb, pull the tailbone, and go out, press back and up. Pull the tailbone and go out, forward shoulder, sit bones, and go back. Pull the tailbone and keep your back up, and push and go back. Pull the tailbone out, push and go back. Pull the tailbone out, push back, and sit. Relax your arms, let your wrists go. Just warming up, starting to get there. Getting a drink. All right, adding this dolphin variation just for the front of the shoulders. We're only going to do 5 of these today. So we're in the Sphinx posture. Tuck your toes, lift the sit bones up. Legs don't have to be totally straight. And what I want you to do is push from your hands to your elbows to the sit bones. And feel that shoulder open as much as you can. So if you have a restriction, you'll usually feel it as a pain right at the top of the shoulder. So we're just seeing what that back place is. How far can you go back before that pain stops you? Maybe you don't have any pain. You can go really far back. Feeling that armpit lengthen. So we're going to add a dip here. Again, working shoulders. So make sure your stomach is pulled in. Now we're going to go out, touch our nose down, and then just push back. We inhale and go down, and we exhale, push back. And we inhale and go down, and exhale and push back. And we inhale and go down, exhale and push back. Just one more. Inhale and go down, exhale, push back, come down, sit, let the shoulders go, breathe. So trying to develop strength in motion. So we want to keep all of these postures flowing through so that your muscles will work through the whole range of motion. I don't really like positional stuff, although, you know, it's also good. It's good to work in positions, but you have to be strong enough to go from position to position, because usually it's in the transitions that we hurt ourselves, especially if you're very just kind of conditioned to going one posture, then another posture. You know, how do you get from one to the other? How do you allow the body to adapt to those transitions? So with that said, we're going to add the first exercise well, actually the second one, the push out with the little half push up and go back to the down dog, and then go out to the plank and then push back to the down dog and then come back down. So we're going to put those two together, and it will be super fun. All right, so pressing back, inhale, out and down, exhale, up, tuck the toes, back. Inhale, lift, and press. Exhale, pull the tailbone, go out, and inhale up. Go all the way up on your toes, knees down, and sit. Inhale out, and down. Exhale, push, tuck, back. Reach sit bones to the ceiling. Pull your tailbone out to plank. Lift the tailbone and go really high on your toes so it's not really a down dog. And then you're going to pull your knees into your chest and continue to the sit. And we inhale and go down. Push up, tuck the toes and back. Pull the tailbone and go out. Tailbone lift way up on your toes and pull down. One more. Inhale and down. Exhale, tuck sit bones and back. Pull the tailbone out. Lift the sit bones high on the balls of the feet. Bend the knees and come down. Breathe. So some of you guys have been here since the beginning. Let me know if that is, I don't say easy, but doable. You know, so the end of that, you should feel like you've done some work, and then you want to feel like you could do maybe 10 of them. I'm trying to kind of get an idea of, you know, kind of how we're building strength. All right. So now we're going to go on to just kind of a fun part. That's all the arm work we're really going to do today. I know that I push that, and I'm going to keep pushing that. But today, since it's the end of the week, I'm going to add a couple new things, and they're pretty fun. All right, so sliding out onto a parallel knee. All right, so my shin is parallel. I'm not going into a pigeon pose. I'm just in a parallel leg. All right. So we want to come down and creep that left knee back. So some of your hips might be a little sore after yesterday, maybe not. So what we're going to do is just rock to the left leg and then over towards that right sit bone. And then left leg just a couple inches and to the right sit bone. So keep relaxing in your hip and your knee, and we're just rolling that hip in the socket. It should feel good. Just a couple more. And as you roll back and forth, you know, you want to let your left thigh get closer to the ground, and then you want your hip to get closer to the ground. Your head is down. You're just feeling how this impacts actually the lateral line, because when we go left hip down, you feel side bend right, and then right hip down, you feel side bend left, and then try to go thigh down, center, sit bone down, center, thigh down, center, sit bone down, center. Now, if your knee is giving you troubles, then you have to just stop and go, just wait a minute and go on to this next part. So we're going to do just one more here, and fold, and one more here. And now we're going to come over onto our left thigh, elbows down, sag, relax. So for some of you, you feel the front of your hip, but maybe you're kind of past that after those rolls. Some of you will feel your hip flexor starting to stretch if it's super tight. And then once you relax your shoulders, you feel kind of your armpit stretching. Now I want you to just look back towards your foot, push up onto your elbow, and you're going to give your torso a twist. And as you lift up and look to the back, you'll start to feel a line on the inside of your pelvis up towards your waist. Stretch a bit. It's not a big stretch, it's just a little stretch. But let yourself turn to look at that back leg. So what it is we're almost in that sideline stretch that we do before the side planks. Little different because of the position of the leg. All right, then we're going to release that, roll back to the middle, and then we're going to put our sit bone down and just kind of sag forward, relaxing into the socket. And now I want you to grab your right foot with your left hand, and then we're going to roll down onto our shoulder and onto our back. So grab a hold with two hands, and we're just going to pull this foot towards our face and then up to the ceiling and then out. So we're thinking about making a circle with our toes. Pulling in, up, and out. I can't get very far out. Pulling in, up, and out. Now on this pull in, try to pick your face up to touch your toes, up and out. Pull in, lift up, and out. Pull in, lift up, and out. Pull in, lift up, and out. Two more. Pull in, knees to the side, lift up, and out. Pull in, lift up, and out. Stay out. Now your knee is bent, slightly to the side. You can drop your right hand. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this foot and you're going to push it. So if you try to straighten your knee, you'll start rolling to the right. Straighten your knee, roll to the right, and pull yourself up. This back leg will be bent. And then we're going to roll right back down and leg up to the ceiling. So we're just going to roll. It's fun. So push out and down, roll up and down and up. Push out and roll up and down, push up. Now push that leg as straight as you can and roll up and fold and roll back and push and roll up and release and roll back. Couple more. And push and roll. Maybe you can get your leg almost straight. And down and roll. One more. Push and roll. Your face is pretty close to your knee. And down and up. Now, just take this leg over to the side. Easy twist. Keep a hold of your foot. And then release it. You're going to roll back over onto your knee. And then tuck the back toe. Push to the down dog just to relieve it. Press through. And left leg. So, just a nice loosening exercise. Also builds coordination. You know, if you had trouble with it, don't worry about it. Sometimes it takes a little bit of practice to figure out, you know, how to sequence that. You really have to keep that foot pushing in order to roll yourself up. All right, so we're creeping that right knee back. Our leg is parallel. Coming down, same thing. Just roll to the right a little bit, center, and then left. Just on your own timing. It's mainly for your hip and for that knee. It's really nice to get this articulation in the socket. Stay as relaxed as possible. You're just kind of oozing from the sit bone being down, oozing over, and then the hip being down, or the thigh rather, that right thigh. Oozing over, keep sinking into the socket. Just a couple more. These are very complex positions. And so you can get stretches through multiple planes here, but it's still a very beginning kind of stretch. So next time, come onto your thigh. You're up on your elbows, and then just take stock, drop that right rib, check out your hip flexor, and then we're going to push to a twist. Look back at your foot, and then again check the stretch or the lack of, or not stretch, between your right hip crest and your ribs. Push away. Now I don't have any issues on this side, but on my first side I could really feel that hip flexor stretching all the way up to my ribs on the inside. They're attached to the lumbars, but then the fascia continues up to the diaphragm. Just a couple more. You want to just let everything sag. And then release that forward. And then we're going to ooze ourselves over to that left sit bone. We're going to move over. And you're going to grab it, that left foot, with your right hand, roll down onto your shoulder, and then onto your back. And then you can grab with two hands. So just a little hip circle. So we're going to pull towards our face and out. I don't have as much range on this side because of an injury. But just make it easy, especially right here. Like, let your hip relax, pull with your arms. And then that will make it give you a little bit more range. So right here, as you're starting to pull in, let that hip relax. Try to drop the knee down and then pull the foot. Now we're going to add just that little lift. So we're going to pull our abdominals, reach and out. And pull in towards your face, lift up, reach and out. And pull, reach and out. And pull, reach and out. And pull, reach and out. Couple more. And face up, reach and out. And face to your foot, reach and out. Two more. Face to your foot or close or whatever and out. One more. And pull it in, reach and out. Now, grab a hold with your right hand. Now we're going to roll to our left by taking this foot, pushing out and rolling. So to come up, you have to keep pushing through your foot so that that shoulder can roll itself up. And then we're going to roll down onto the shoulder and back to the center. So we take that left foot, we push it up, out, and roll, and down, and back. Push, up, out, and roll, and down, and back. Push, up, out, and roll, and down, and back. Push, up, out, and roll, down, and back. Couple more. Push, up, out, and roll, and down. The leg keeps getting a little bit straighter, doesn't it? And out, and roll, and down. Last one. Out, and up, and down. And then take this over to the right. Twist. Just easy twist so that shoulder can come up off the ground, or you can kind of hover between the two. Leg can have a little bend in it. Just big inhales, or you can straighten that leg. I don't even know if you can see my leg. Nope, you can't. That's all right. So we're just twisted, and my hand is still holding my foot. My left shoulder's come off the ground, and I'm just breathing here. And then I'm going to let go of my foot, and I'm going to pull myself back to center. Pull both knees in. And then grab just your right knee, pull it in, stretch that left leg up, and then take that leg down to parallel. And then your chest and face are going up towards this knee. So we're just going to inhale, exhale, keep that waist pressing into the ground. Keep that heel reaching out. Don't let the weight of that thigh change the pelvis position. So every time you exhale, you really need to pull pubic bone up, ribs down. Now I know some of you, your neck gets tired here, so you can drop it down and maybe just pull on the exhales, and then try to add it and inhale and add it, inhale. It's not bad for your neck, and actually what I'm doing right now excuse me, is letting that sternocleidomastoid work. I'm exhaling and inhaling. My waist is staying on the ground. And then if you're still just holding, just keep holding. And then every time you exhale, you're just pulling up a little bit more. One more. Pull. Take this leg straight up. Head back. Both knees in. Give it a little bit of a wiggle. Right leg up. Pull that left knee up to that left shoulder. And then extend that leg out. Quad is nice and tight. Heel is reaching. Waist is pressing into the floor. You're pulling with your stomach to keep the position of the pelvis. And you're trying to pull that thigh into your socket. Pick your head up. Now you can either stay here and just hold, or inhale back, exhale, pull. 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 Stay, pull, leg comes up, release the head back, bend both knees, and then feet down, soles of the feet. And then we're going to just open the left hip, let that right knee sag, come back up to center, open the right, let the left knee go down, come center, and just back and forth, just on your own timing. What you want to feel is just let that hip open, relax it, and then come back up. So let that lead leg go, really pay attention to the inside of that socket, and then back up. And then once you pay attention to the socket on the lead leg, then take the trailing leg and pull the knee, the inside of the knee, down towards the ankle, and you'll get that quad stretch. So open, feel the hip, and then pull. Back to center. Open, feel the hip, and then thigh pull. Open, drop, pull. Up, drop, pull. Up, drop, pull. Two more. Up, drop, pull. Up, drop, pull. Back to center. Pull the knees in. Now we don't have the block today, so we're just going to feel this without the block. So you have to use your inner thighs like you're squeezing. You don't have to squeeze the knees together, but put your feet together and then feel your inner thighs pull. And if you can get your knees together, do. Press your waist into the ground. Thighs drift over your hip sockets, and then straighten your legs to 45. Keep that waist pressing. and breathe in your ribs. We're just going to hold this. Keep pressing your waist. If you can go lower than 45, go. Couple more. Keep pressing the waist. Slowly pull them up. Bend the knees. In. Just rocking the pelvis. Now we're going to add a little bounce to it. Up. Up, 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 and rocking. Let yourself come up, and up, and up, and pull, and pull. You feel your hip flexors, you feel the lower abdominals. When you come up, push your legs, pull, and up. Push your legs, pull, and up. Push your legs, pull, and up. Push, and up. Push, lay back. Put your feet down, breathe. I'm going to do one more of those. So there's a bunch of different parts to that. Creeping myself up a bit. So just let everything go here for a couple breaths. So you can use momentum to get yourself up. When you pull your knees into your face and you feel that pelvis come off the ground, if you push your legs up to the ceiling, you'll get a little higher and you're going to feel abdominals really low. So we're going for right above the pubic bone. Not here, here. And so that's that curl. Then let the momentum take you to sitting. But when you get to sitting, push your pelvis forward into an anterior tilt and feel yourself kind of stabilize on your sit bones. We're going to do one more of those. So pull the knees in, and we just start easy. Up, up, up. Up, 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 and you'll automatically go feel the momentum take you up, 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 couple more, up, last one, up, roll and stay. So you're pushing your pelvis forward. Now pull your thighs in, hold, breathe. And then stretch your legs to straight, breathe. Keep pushing your pelvis forward. Keep breathing. Two more breaths. And cross the ankles and hang over. roll up. All right. Time to go to a wall or your couch. And we're going to do one arm stretch before we start this whole thing. So make a loop, shoulder width, right? And then slide it up right above the elbows. And then we're going to put our elbows on the couch and our head down, and then just let your armpits sag. So inhale and then exhale, chest down. Put your forehead on your chair or your couch on this first round. You know, and as you get further into this, you'll feel the same kind of restrictions that you did in those dips that we did at the beginning in the dolphin. Couple more breaths only. And then pull yourself up. And then you're going to take the strap off and put it behind you. All right, so I know my head is off, but that's okay. Put it behind you. Put both hands in it, right? And then just lift the chest up. So this is what, you know, we've been doing these. So push out on the strap, lift the chest. Now if you can interlace your fingers and do this, do it. I always just like to do this variation for people that have a hard time with this. Because if you can't get your arms straight, you really can't roll your shoulders under very well. Couple more inhales here. And then release that. And then we're going back to the first one. So let that go. Now if you can just hold your elbows, you don't need the strap for this one. But if you can't, use the strap, because you don't want your elbows going wider than your shoulders, because that's really part of what we're trying to stretch, right? So slide to the edge, grab a hold, and then let your head drop to the couch, and then maybe a little further. Couple breaths. I need to move if you move your knees back so you're more like in a table, then the stretch becomes more intense. Couple more. And then release that. Come on up. Sit. All right. Doing one more today. So if you need the strap, put it behind you, right? And then we're going to put our hands on the couch. So my arms are in the strap, my hands are on the couch. I'm going to rotate so that my palms are up and the back of my hand is down on the couch. Now you can be on your shins or you could be sitting here. Now if you're on a wall, this is actually hard to do, so we're only going to do one of these. But just kind of remember this, because this is really one of my new favorite stretches. So slide your arms back as much as you can take it, right? You feel the shoulders rolling forward. Then take your chest and push up. And so what you feel is the front of the shoulder stretch. And then what I want you to do is try to roll the shoulders in. So you're going to roll the shoulder blades towards one another. And if you take that down into the hands, then the thumbs roll down. But you don't have to do that. You can just lift the chest and keep breathing though. That's the key. Lift the chest and keep breathing. And you can see how you could stay here a while, and that's kind of the key for this. You want to be able to stay here for a while, slide back a little bit more, lift the chest a little bit more, and let that front chest stretch. And then let that go. And once you let it go, if you need it, you really feel it. All right. Some of you, though, don't need that stretch, right? You don't need it. I try to add things. That's for Miss Jessica and for myself. All right, tie your legs together. Slide your feet underneath your couch. Come down onto your arms. Press your feet up into the underside of your couch to anchor. Or onto the wall. We're only going to do one of these. Drive your sit bones into the backs of your legs. Rotate your pelvis as much as you can. Top edge of that sacrum going up to the ceiling. Sit bones and tailbones going down through the legs to the floor. And then just take the arms here. Breathe and just work the pelvis. Feel the counter rotation here. If you lift your arms up, it's a little harder, but really we're working this. One more big inhale, and then hands and release down. Now, creep yourself back so that your shins are on the couch or your shins are on the wall. All right, so this is going to be a new thing for us. I'm going to really work on next week. But it's kind of nice to just taste this. So I want you to come up on your elbows into the Sphinx. Now for some of us, when you come up here, you might feel your low back and it doesn't feel that good. So if you're one of those people, take your sit bones and do exactly what we just did in that extension. Squeeze your butt. Try to press your hips, the hip sockets into the ground. That'll lengthen that low back and that pain should go away. What ends up happening when you do that is you'll feel the front of your hip sockets stretch. We're just going to stay up here a couple of breaths. So that tight low back, and some of you, I think Millie was the person that felt that in the half hero stretch. It's the same thing. This isn't as extreme. But in order for us to do the bows, you have to be able to feel this counter rotation of the pelvis. So if you just let yourself sag, your waist goes to the ground, you feel your sit bones kind of lift up. That's the hip flexor kind of pulling the pelvis forward. Forward is towards your thighs. So we're going to try to do the opposite. You're going to take the sit bones, drive the sit bones into the backs of the legs, lengthen your low back. We've been doing this for weeks, and you should feel a nice long low back, all right? I know this is James, a hard time showing this in the camera setup that we have. And then we're going to do just one more from here. So if you don't really feel anything here, I want you to grab your bolster and put it under your chest, and then put your elbows on top, and then push up. Now you might feel it. If it's too much, move the bolsters. If you're good, tuck your tailbone down through your legs, pull your pubic bone up, and then you're going to feel bigger stretch across the front of your hip and into your quads. So we're just going to hold this. Now, why I'm doing this today is if you guys have any questions about this, I would like you to ask them, send them in a text or an email, because we're going to be doing bows. And in order for the bows to be done safely, we really need to understand what's going on right here. All right? So then just release this. You're going to roll onto our right side. Move the bolster, and then just continue rolling onto your back. Unstrap yourself, and then cross your right ankle over your left knee, and just let that side of the low back stretch. And then left leg over. And you can always make this more intense by pulling this down or sliding your sit bones closer to the couch. But for now, all we're really doing here is I just want you to just let that hip socket go. So after that extension, couple breaths. Release that. Roll those legs in and out. Legs are either up the wall or on the couch or on a chair. And then we're going to roll to sit. All right, everyone. That's it for today. That's it for week 1. Please get back to me with comments and questions. Enjoy the weekend. Thank you for your support, and namaste.